Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Erin and today we have a little mini book haul. I have 5 books here that we are going to talk about that I bought. This one might be a small haul today, okay? This is a small haul, a tiny little baby haul, okay? However, I got some books for my birthday and when I say some, I mean a lot. So there is a possibility for a very large book haul coming your way. So if you guys are interested in seeing a rather big book haul, let me know. Otherwise, today we have a small one and we will leave it at that. And you know, it'll be a good time. It's gonna be a great time. Here is my little haul. Here are my books. So let's start, shall we? The first book is actually a book I've already read, but I read it on my Kindle and I read it through Kindle Unlimited and I loved it so much that I just had to buy a physical copy of it. I had to. This is The Bell Chime by Mona Kabani. I think that's how you say her last name. I'm so sorry if that is not correct. This book is amazing. I talked about it in my January wrap-up, I believe, so you can hear more about it in that video if you want to know more. But this is, it's a novella. It's pretty short. It's really easy to read, but oh my god, it was so crazy. It's not what I expected at all. I'll read you the back. A girl suffering from paralyzing night terrors finds a missing poster hanging from the door of her apartment building. On that poster is a photograph of a frighteningly familiar face. It's her. Only she's never seen this photo before, and something about its grin scares her. How its eyes seem to follow her no matter where she finds herself in the room. Over a series of strange events to follow, events that will make her question whether her sanity is still there or fleeting, she must discover what is real and what is the nightmare. It's a masterpiece. This is such a good story. It is psychological, which I am very hesitant about. Psychological horror is very hit or miss for me, but this was a hit. This is so good. I actually bought this book through Mona on Instagram, so she signed it for me. She's so sweet. She's like the nicest person ever, but I really wanted a physical copy and she was selling signed copies and I was like, okay, perfect, gonna buy this. This is wonderful. I highly recommend this one. The next one is Take Your Turn, Teddy by Hayley Newlin. I think that's how you say her last name. I'm so bad at names, I know, but look at this cover. Isn't this awesome? This is so freaking cool. So I actually bought this one as well through Hayley on her website. She was selling signed copies of her book, so I went ahead and bought it through her own website so I could get a signed copy, because signed copies of books are super cool, and if you have the chance to get a signed copy of a book, I think that's you should take it. But I will read you the back of this one. Nothing has been normal for Teddy, not since discovering the harsh identity of the monster he had been living with his whole life, his own father. Teddy and his mother leave that behind to start over in a small Indiana township. But as Teddy begins to learn of humanity's monsters, he unveils an otherworldly evil he calls the Shadow. The Shadow tests Teddy's vulnerability and growing sense of isolation, poisoning his mind and conjuring a vile killer in the making. A year later, Officer Leonard Strode is called in to offer consultation on a case similar to the most brutal and scarring of those he's worked on before. One is the case of Jackie Warren, the other Theodore Teddy Blackwood, 2 missing children. As he and 2 other officers follow the trail of clues, Strode is haunted by the ghosts of his own past and is horrified to find them wreaking havoc on his present. When both Teddy and Strode finally meet face to face, they must confront their inner darkness as well, or else be consumed by it. I've heard this is so sad, and honestly, it sounds heartbreaking. I love a good heartbreaking story. They usually crush my entire soul and being, which is a lot for me, so I can't do it back to back usually. I have to take my time with these kinds of stories because otherwise I will be in ruins, okay, forever, okay? That's a lot of emotions. I'm a very emotional person, so reading emotional stories is sometimes very hard for me, but I enjoy them so much. This sounds right up my alley. This sounds like such a good book. I'm very excited for this one. I have been eyeing this on Instagram for so long. So many people have been talking about it, and I'm obsessed. I can't wait. So I ordered Take Your Turn Teddy, and there was kind of something wrong with my order. So Haley was super nice and fixed it, but she also sent me her other book, which was totally sweet, and she's just a very nice person. This is not another Sarah Halls. This actually sounds really good as well, but she totally didn't have to do this. This was super sweet of her, but I am excited for this one as well. I was gonna get both books. I just ended up only getting Take Your Turn Teddy, so it kind of worked out perfectly for me that I ended up with both books because I wanted both. So let me read you the back. In not another Sarah Halls, underneath the facade of normalcy lies a creeping darkness in the town of Oak Haven. If you look closely, you might see faded flyers, weather-worn and all but forgotten, seeking the whereabouts of a missing girl. Every town has its cold cases, but Oak Haven has a string of them. Beautiful girls missing, all in a pretty row, and the town has learned to just put the disappearances out of sight and out of mind. While Autumn can't seem to separate herself from the series of cold cases, everyone else in Oak Haven goes through extensive measures to move on, holding vigils as if the unaccounted for bodies had been discovered, strangled in the woods. But Autumn and her friend Becca take different paths on their way to unveiling the truth, an endeavor that not only dismembers their friendship, but their state of mind. This sounds completely different than Take Your Turn Teddy, but in a really good way. I love when authors really explore the genre of horror and just kind of try out all avenues of horror. I think it shows a very strong writer, and I think if you can do multiple avenues in horror, you've got it made, you know? So I'm very excited to check this one out as well. This one sounds very good. Next, we have a book that I have been wanting to buy for so long. I love this author. I have read only one other book by her, but it captured my heart and soul when I read it. So I knew that this author would become one of my absolute favorites. I just, you know, had to read more of her work before I could actually state that fact, but I finally did it. I bought another one of her books so I can finally try to accurately say that she's one of my favorite authors without just reading one of her stories. But this is White Pines by Gemma Amor. This is a chunky book, especially from reading Dear Laura. Dear Laura's like this thin, and then this is like a chunky boy, you know, chunk. It's Chunk City. So this one sounds very interesting. Are you ready? It says, a woman returning to her roots, a town built on sacred land, a secret cloaked in tradition and lore. Welcome to White Pines. Don't get too comfortable. It says this is a cosmic folk Celtic cult fantasy horror novel, which blows my mind because that's a lot of things rolled into one. So I'm very intrigued because she knocked it out of the park with Dear Laura. Dear Laura was 20 out of 10. Cannot recommend that story enough. It was so incredibly good. So I'm excited to see something a little bit different from her. I'm excited. And I love her writing. If it's anything like Dear Laura, I think I'm going to really enjoy the writing as well. So I can't wait to dive into this one. And then last but not least is a book that I have been trying to buy for months, but I couldn't bring myself to purchase it because it was $30. At least this particular cover is $30. The other cover was $26, but I prefer this cover. So I finally bit the bullet and bought this $30 book. This is No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Nevill. I have heard so many people talk about this book, especially Mers from Harpies in the Trees. She raves about this book. She raves about this book, and anything Mers says is good, I have to read because I trust her. I trust her very much. She's got the recommendations, you know? So I knew I had to get it. This is also a chonky boy. Very chonky. It's very thick. I have heard this is supposed to be very scary and very intense, which, you know, when I hear those words used about a book, I have to read them because I am excited when something is supposed to be scary. I have read another book by Adam Nevill. It was The Ritual, and I did not really care for that book. It wasn't very good. I didn't like it. I know a lot of people love that book, but it was just not for me. I didn't care for it. I'm hoping this one's different. Please be different. But let me read you the back. Cash-strapped, working for temping agencies and living in shared accommodation, Stephanie Booth feels she can fall no further. So when she takes a new room at the right price, she believes her luck has finally turned. But 82 Edge Hill Road is not what it appears to be. It's not only the eerie atmosphere of the vast neglected house or the disturbing attitude of her new landlord, Knacker McGuire, that makes her uneasy. It's the whispers behind the fireplace, the scratching beneath floors, the footsteps in the dark, and the young women weeping in neighboring rooms. When Knacker's menacing cousin Fergal arrives, the danger exceeds her darkest imaginings. But this is merely a beginning, a gateway to horrors beyond Stephanie's worst nightmares, and in a house where no one listens to the screams, will she ever get out alive? This sounds creepy. It sounds very creepy. It sounds good. I'm excited. I'm hoping that this book will be the book that redeems Adam Nevill for me, because The Ritual was just so not my thing that I'm hoping this will be exactly my thing. I'm hoping. If you've read this, let me know. I've only heard good things about it. I haven't heard anything bad, so that's promising. And yeah, guys, that's it. That's my mini book haul. I told you it was little. It was a tiny little book haul. It's not a lot of stuff, but like I said, I have some books. I have some books coming. So if you want a larger haul, please let me know, because I love doing hauls. I love talking about books. I love getting recommendations from you guys. I like recommending books to you guys. I just love the sharing of books that this channel brings. So if you like hearing about books I've been buying or books I've bought, you know, that kind of thing, please let me know so I can know to keep doing it. I don't want you guys to like hate book hauls, so you know, just let me know. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. It was pretty short, sweet, to the point, I hope. It could be longer than I'm thinking it is, because sometimes when I'm sitting in front of the camera, time just gets away from me, you know, and I don't know what's happening. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of content you guys enjoy from me. That way I can keep providing you with that kind of content. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We can become friends, talk about books, makeup, horror, movies, all kinds of things. I do a lot on this channel, so hopefully there's something for everyone. And with that being said, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you on Wednesday with another video. Bye!